Okay, there are a lot of different ways that you can drive traffic to your website, and you can look at the different methods, and you can figure out which ones are going to work best for you. The list is just huge of different ways that you can drive traffic, and one of the things that we do when I've talked to our businesses that are on our system that have websites, I'm always interested to hear how they're driving traffic to their website. And there are almost as many different ways to drive traffic to your website as there are websites. People try different things. It's different. Everybody likes a little bit different flavor, and they like to do different things. Okay. My suggestion to you, though, is that over 80% of website traffic on the Internet comes from search engines, according to statistics. Okay. So if you look at the whole Internet, and you say 80% of the traffic gets to the website from search engines, then it seems to me that a logical assumption to that is that making sure that you're using the search engines is going to be critically important to your website traffic. You can do other things, but we always recommend having a good search engine strategy for driving traffic to your website. Okay? The term for that you hear out there is SEO. Stands for Search Engine Optimization. And what that means is making sure that you're ranked high for certain keywords that's going to get you that targeted traffic to your website, and so that you show up in those right places. And we've got a whole webinar recorded out there and a training out there on EZ-Net University that just talks about SEO, how to get your website up in the right places to get the traffic there. In my opinion, that's one of the most important ways to drive traffic to your website. Okay, another thing that will help you with that I always like people to encourage you to do, and this one's really sort of a dual thing. In my opinion, it makes a great website, and it's also a good strategy for driving traffic to your website, is make sure that you have a content-rich website. This is an old Internet saying, content is king. That's been on the Internet out there, or a saying about the Internet that's been around since the Internet started. And it's as true today, in my opinion, as it was the very first day that it was said. Okay? Content is critically important. Search engines like to find keywords in content. So you need to think about, having a content-rich website, lots of great information for people to come to. And that's something that you need to continually be working on and continually building, is more and more content about whatever it is that you're doing and getting it out there on the website. I think a lot of people don't really realize how important that is for your traffic driving strategy, is to be coming up with new pieces of content all the time, publishing articles, whatever that is, but keep more contents out there, because whether you're doing search engine optimization or other forms of marketing, content will help you to do that. Okay, also as far as driving traffic, if you look at Launch to Success, our whole program is really developed around these three keys, and all of our trainings are developed around these three keys. So we have, a series of trainings that we do about building a great website, a series of trainings that we do about driving traffic to your website, and we're coming up with a whole bunch of new trainings and webinars on driving traffic to your website. And then we'll have trainings on how to increase conversions and how to increase your conversions as well. So the whole Launch to Success program is really built completely around these three keys. Okay. The third key is increasing conversions. Okay. The first thing that we need to talk about is, what is a conversion? Now, for most of our customers, that's a pretty easy answer. If you're selling something, a conversion is when you make the sale, when they buy, when they plunk down their hard-earned cash, when that cash register rings. That's the conversion. Okay. Some customers are a little bit more difficult to measure conversions. If you were a politician, for example, a conversion might be a vote. If you were trying to convince people of something, it may be when with the point that they change their mind, or make up their mind that what you're telling them is correct. That's harder to measure. And so it just depends on what your conversion is, but you need to know what it is that you want people to do on your website. I love Stephen Covey's statement, begin with the end in mind. What is it that you want these people to do? What is it that you want to accomplish with your website? What is a conversion? Okay, if you want to sell something, then that's easy. We know what that is. But come up with whatever your conversion is, and if you can come up with any way to measure it, that's what you need to do. Because in increasing conversions on your website, you need to be able to measure it. I can't remember where I heard the statement, but somewhere it was like, I can't even remember it, but it was something like performance measured improves. Okay, so if you can measure what your conversions are, it will improve almost automatically, but you'll help it to improve, and you'll come up with things to help it to improve. One of the things that I like to use to measure conversions is what I call a conversion ratio, which is really simple to calculate. Okay, if you have 100, let's say you have 1,000 visitors to your website. Okay, 1,000 unique visitors hit your website. You've got 1,000 of them, and out of those 1,000, 100 buy. They make a purchase off of your website. Okay, so now I can do the math on this little formula. I can divide my buyers by my visitors and multiply by 100, and that gives me my conversion ratio. If I had 1,000 people visit my website, 100 people buy, then you've got a 10% conversion ratio. I always come up with easy numbers because my brain doesn't do math too well, so I have to come up with good easy numbers to calculate. Okay, but know what your conversion ratio is. Okay, that's the first thing you want to do in increasing your conversion ratio is calculate it, measure it. Okay, so now then how do you go about increasing it? Okay, the process, it's really an ongoing process as we go through these steps. We build a great website, we drive traffic to the website, then we get into increasing conversions, and we play this game. Okay, the game is we measure it, so we know what our conversion ratio is. We make a little change to the website. Now if you're worried about the color green, now's the time to play with it. You can change that little color of green, to a different shade. Wait for a while, measure it again, and see if that makes a huge difference. Maybe it does. In my opinion, it probably doesn't. Those aren't the things that are critical, but you can change things. You can change your offer. You can change your price. You can make your offer bigger, or whatever your action is. Make your buy button bigger. Make it red. Try different things. Try more pictures of your product. But make a change, then measure it. Make a change, then measure it. If when you measure your change, you see a big improvement, keep it. If you see a decrease, put it back the way it was and see if it pops back. But that's an ongoing game that you can play to increase your conversions. Once you've got the traffic there, you can do things to work on your getting more traffic all the time as well, but this is a great process to get to, and it's a great problem to be working on, is to get more conversions off of your website. And it should be something that you can play with all the time. And there are additional tools out there that you can use as well. There are things that you can do called split testing, so you can have people come in and have them go to 2 different places and see which one works better. So there are a number of different things that you can do to increase conversions, and that's really important because that's where the rubber meets the road, is when you're actually making your conversions. And one of the things about the EZ-NetTools and our hostware, our software solution, it really lends itself to this because we make it so easy for customers to tweak their site, to make a little change. And you can make changes easily to that website and then check it, measure it, test it, see if you can increase those conversions, and make that an ongoing process that you just always keep doing. All of these steps are just really critical to your success. Okay, let's quickly review the 3 steps. You really need to get these just burned into your mind because these are, I think they are so critical. They're the basic element, the basic foundation that you're going to build your internet success with. Step 1, build a great website. Step 2, drive traffic to the website. Step 3, increase conversions. Keep that an ongoing process. Just keep making little adjustments to your website. It needs to be, you need to be active with your website. You just don't put it up there and work it out, leave it there, and hopefully everything will be great and wonderful. It's something that you need to be working on a little bit all the time. It's sort of the tortoise and the hare. You have the tortoise who just keeps plugging away at it a little bit at a time, and he makes it, and he ultimately wins the race. Where you got the hare, he's out there running his guts out, and he loses the race because he doesn't stay steady. And that's what's important with this. Work your way through these 3 steps, and you're just not really probably going to see success if you only do one. And if you do them out of order, if my website's not really great and it's not working yet, it's not all that functional, I drive traffic to it, I'm really just wasting my time. And I'm probably not going to, if I'm worried about what color green it is or worrying about things that are going to affect my conversions before I have any traffic, it's just not going to work. You need to do all of 3 of these things in the right order. So critically important.